Our region's carved out a global reputation in recent years for being green. Yet greens have been a priority here for the better part of 70 years. Way back in the 1940s, one of the top priorities of Renaissance One in Pittsburgh was to create a green oasis in the heart of what was then a very dirty city. They called it Mellon Square. It featured a park on top of a parking garage, one of the first green roofs anywhere. And now Mellon Square has been restored to its full glory. Meg Cheever is president and CEO of the Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy, which spearheaded the effort to restore the park. And welcome, good to have you back.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Yeah, this is an important project, and I guess there's an enormous amount of history around this development, almost 60, 70 years ago, right?
Absolutely. Just as you said, it was really one of the centerpieces of the first Renaissance of Pittsburgh, and we're so happy that it's back better than ever.
I understand R.K. Mellon himself really took a personal interest in it.
He did. He and Mayor Lawrence really got together and used the very famous in landscape design circles, Simons and Simons landscape architecture firm, to put this together. And it's known around the world in landscape architecture circles as really one of the masterpieces of mid-20th century modernist American landscape architecture.
Oh my gosh, I mean, most of us in Pittsburgh, okay, so there's a parking garage and there's a park on top. You kind of take it for granted, but in its day, it was pretty revolutionary.
Well, exactly, and so many things are like that. I met a man from Egypt a couple of years ago who came to Pittsburgh and said, "Oh, Pittsburgh, Mellon Square." Huh. So I think sometimes we're more known outside of our town than we are within it.
Wow.
But it's just a great space, a little jewel box, really, and it really wasn't in awful condition, but almost every detail had been fraying around the edges. So I think now that it's back, people realize how great it was originally and are just really pleased to see it. And it seems to me that the lunch business, which was so thriving about 20 years ago, has returned immediately. On the days that I've gone, I've seen many, many people there having a good time.
Yeah, well, I was out there recently walking through the square in the middle of the day, and it's just as you say, there's people there, but also the water features, because they've been turned off or weren't working right, and really now you begin to appreciate the fountains and what the original design was.
Well, absolutely, and those bronze basins were built here in Pittsburgh. They were, I think they are the largest single cast basins ever done in this country or the world, and it was Matthews International that made them, and it was Matthews that took them away and refurbished them and brought them back this time. So that was a nice full circle experience.
That is so cool. Matthews, one of the oldest for-profit companies, continuously doing business in Pittsburgh, still at it after, gosh, 150 years or so themselves. It's a wonderful tie-in. What's also cool to see that and you've been at this project for how long? When did you start working on this?
Probably 5 or 6 years.
Wow, 5 or 6 years. Yeah, and really how much it's helping to draw investment and kind of revitalizing the buildings that surround the square, because they were kind of deteriorating somewhat.
Well, that was one of the big reasons for our getting involved, besides the intrinsic wonderful nature of the park. But it seemed as though this central spot in the business district was really kind of going downhill. People were moving out, buildings were starting to be vacant, and now that we're finished, every single building is under construction, new hotels going in, and it seems as though the whole place has been revitalized. It's been great, and it's been nice that the William Penn has been stalwart in being there all the time, but really almost everything else was in play.
Wow, well, it really does illustrate this investment in these important public spaces has a real economic impact beyond just some trees and grass.
Exactly. Right? Sometimes people erroneously think, oh, a park is just a place with grass and trees and flowers, and what's the big deal? But in fact, a park isn't really static. It either is helping with the economy and the quality of life in a place, or if it's not in good condition, it drags a place down. People are afraid to go, or it looks unsafe or seedy. The whole neighborhood can go down. So we're really pleased that this one is back. And you were talking about the fountains. The Cascade Fountain is back, which is the fountain that goes down sort of steps to Smithfield Street. And that really had to be controlled, well, both fountains manually, and now we have automatic control so they can run longer, because before this a human being had to go and turn it off and on.
All right, so there's a little bit of modernization along with the restoration to make it such a great space. Well, Meg Cheever of the Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy, congratulations. What a great achievement.
Well, thanks so much, Bill.
And next up, setting sail on the Missouri River to find a boatload of lost treasures from our region. Stay with us.